So, you're interested in listening to the VORW broadcast live, or even just recorded today, but you're not sure how to. In this recording, I'll be listing 3 different methods in which you'll be able to listen with ease, for the most part. And those ways will be listening via a live stream from one of the stations carrying this program. The second will be listening live via shortwave, which is very complicated, and unless you're positive that I got this, I'd recommend the first method. And then the final one, if you can't catch it live, there's always listening via SoundCloud. Alright. Nonetheless, here's what we got. The first method, listening via a live stream. First and foremost, visit the website wbcq.com. That's wbcq.com. And when you're there, you should see the homepage looking somewhat like this. Now, see what I highlighted or underlined in red where it says Listen Live? Click on that. Now I should be seeing this page with the 2 links there. WBCQ 7.490 and WBCQ 5.110. Those are 2 of their frequencies which they broadcast on, and the 2 which they're willing to have simultaneously live streamed online. We want the top one, WBCQ 7.490. You'll see MP3 player and pop-up shoutcast player. I always like to go with the pop-up shoutcast player, but you can go with whatever one you choose. Click on the pop-up shoutcast player, and it will begin streaming automatically with whatever program is on at the time of recording this. So, that's how you can listen live via the station's website, wbcq.com. And if you want to hear this broadcast live, please check in at around 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay, that's 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Check the live stream and it should be on. Now, it might not be. It's out of my hands if it's on or not on this live stream, if they choose to add it or not. But it should be. By every circumstance, it should be. So I recommend checking that, and you'll be getting a full-blown HD quality recording. The next method is a bit more complicated. Okay. It's just how it is, but it's a means of listening. You'll see this link here. Alright, I know it's a bit more complicated of a link. You see blurp 2 DYNDS and some numbers there. And I also have linked it in the description as well. This is the site we want. At the site now, you see it looks very, I imagine to most, confusing. It looks all these little controls and dials and buttons and this little blue screen. It almost looks like the controls of some sort of airliner or, space shuttle or whatever it might be. But don't let that deceive you. Don't let it get to you. Because it'll be a lot simpler than it looks. Okay, so we're looking at it now. Maybe you hear some static or something. See the box that I highlighted? It says frequency. What this site is, it's an online shortwave radio. So if you enter in a certain frequency, it will tune to it. And you'll be able to listen to that shortwave frequency live. So right now you see the frequency probably says 4210 or something along those lines. Click in the box. Highlight the frequency. Press delete. Now press either, depending on the time. If it's 4 p.m. Eastern, again, 4 p.m. Eastern, press 7490 and then press enter. That'll take you to that VORW broadcast frequency. If it's 8 p.m. Eastern, press 7570, enter, and that'll take you to that VORW broadcast frequency. And that's it. Now, if you really want to make sure you'll be able to hear the broadcast well, but right now, the way it's set up, that's all you need to do, and you're good. If you do want to change something, or if you think it sounds a little off, see the box where it says bandwidth, and you'll see wider, CW, LSB, USB, AM, FM. Right. We know what AM and FM are. We've heard of AM and FM radio in the car. I don't know what USB, LSB, CW, and all that is. That doesn't matter at this point. But if you really want to make sure you can hear this as it's meant to be heard, just press the AM button. Not the AM-NRW button, but just AM. Press it. And probably nothing's going to change, but just a way of making sure. Okay? Just a way of making sure. Now, this site only has a capacity of 35 people. There's also another site, which I'll link below. And actually, I'll just link right here. It's the exact same thing as that one, just in a different location, so I don't know how the signal's going to come in on that one. But if you're confident that you'll be good using this, then give it a shot. Again, I do say, there are variables to this one. Right? Sometimes radio stations, they just don't come in well. Reception just may not be good. And there's not a damn thing I can do about it if that's the case. Right? So let's say, for instance, in a worst case scenario, the WBCQ live stream isn't playing the broadcast. And we're trying to listen on these online receivers, but the station is very weak and it's just not coming in due to how it's propagating at the time. And by the way, the two frequencies I picked and the times that were provided should work good for North America, so that shouldn't really be a problem. But just in case, you never know. And I don't want to just blindly go in there saying, "Yeah, you'll hear this," and then be sitting there scratching my head. You should be able to hear this. I've listened to many broadcasts on these frequencies, at the same times, and they've came in fine. Nonetheless, the final means, and this is the foolproof one. I mean, if you want to hear it via this means, you're going to hear it. It's that simple. The foolproof means to listen to this broadcast, okay, is by SoundCloud. That's it. I imagine we've heard of SoundCloud before by at least, probably everyone knows at least some sort of friend or individual who claims to be some sort of aspiring rapper or musician and posts all their stuff to SoundCloud. I imagine we all know what SoundCloud is. And if you don't, SoundCloud is a site which pretty much shares music and recordings, and you can listen. And it's a site which I'll use to post some of the VORW broadcasts on, believe it or not. So here's the foolproof way. None of the other two are working out. If you just don't want to go through the other two, which I don't blame you, this is the foolproof one. Okay? Linked in the description and linked in the comments. At 4 o'clock p.m., I'm going to link the 4 o'clock broadcast. It will be a full-blown digital recording on SoundCloud. At 8 o'clock p.m., I'll link the 8 o'clock broadcast. And believe it or not, both broadcasts do have different music, so that's why they're different. And I'll link that to SoundCloud. So then you'll just be able to listen at that time, full-blown digital recording. And that's that. So I hope you'll be able to tune in. I'm trying to make sure that you're able to get there. and via one of several means. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoy the broadcast if you're listening. Remember, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, WBCQ.com live stream, shortwave at 7490, and, of course, SoundCloud. Check the comments and description. And 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 7570 shortwave, and SoundCloud, again, in the description and in the comments. Thank you for listening, and if you're interested in tuning in, I wish you good reception conditions, and I hope you enjoy the program. Take care.